Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We appreciate you tuning in. So this morning we got a brand new Cimarron stock trailer we want to show to you. This is a great little runaround trailer. Maybe you're a family, it's just getting started. You want a nice little small jackpot type trailer, something with a side ramp, something with a traveling gate. Maybe you want to haul around some donors, maybe some prospect calves, anything like that. This is a really good trailer that can kind of cross over between farm and ranch, and then also some show aspects as well. So it's a 2022 Cimarron Lonestar 20-footer. Let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing because I want to point out a couple things on this trailer. So like I mentioned, it's 20 foot on the floor. This trailer is 8 foot wide, 6'4" tall. It also has the V-nose set up rather than our standard tapered nose, but this V-nose is really nice from the standpoint of it. I mean, you're really not even going to notice the trailer's back there. It really will cut through the wind. We talked about it. We're just trying to get the two same trailers here with both noses so we can do kind of some testing there, but it will significantly help you with the way the trailer pulls, but also miles per gallon. So let's take a little bit of time to talk about the construction of this trailer. All aluminum construction by Cimarron. You have the strongest floor on the market. It's a 12-inch deck board. It's an extruded piece that locks in together. It's not a piece of aluminum laid down on top of the centers, 4-inch centers. It actually has a truss in the middle that makes it about 60% shear force strength stronger than the previous floor that Cimarron had in their trailers with 4-inch centers. So they have the industry's best floor, the strongest upright posts, strongest door frames. And then we cap it off with their insulated roof that's standard on every single trailer. It makes a massive difference in the temperature control of this trailer compared to aluminum sheeted roofs. It'll keep it a lot cooler itself. And then we'll talk a little bit about 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware. The vendor that Cimarron uses for wheels and tires, you actually get a 1-year no questions asked warranty on the tires. You catch road debris, you have a blowout, you catch a nail, anything like that, as long as from the day you purchase it, you're covered for 1 year. No questions asked. They'll send you a new tire. You also have 2 years of roadside assistance. So kind of some nice added benefits there for you, where they stand behind the product extremely well. So what we'll do is we'll take a look. I'll kind of step back and you can kind of see this nose that we put on this trailer. We really like these V-noses. We really incorporate these quite a bit in our really tall horse trailers. When we get into our big warm bloods, those 7'7", 7'10", 8'1" trailers by Cimarron, by putting this nose on it, it makes a big difference, especially on those big trailers. On this trailer here, I'll show you when we get in the inside, we're not really losing a whole lot of square footage when we're talking about this nose itself. A standard 8-foot wide trailer with the standard 8'2" long nose, you're gonna have 54 square feet of storage. When you go to the V-nose, you get 39, so it's not that big of a difference. You will lose a little bit, but not much, because Cimarron lengthens their nose, and then also they don't bring it to an abrupt, sharp point. I like the looks of this V-nose a little bit better than a lot of the competitors out there for that reason. Underneath here, you got a standard manual hand crank jack. It's a Bulldog. You have a removable handle. This guy will also double as your lug wrench for this trailer. So if you have to change a tire, pull off a spare, anything like that, you've already got that on hand for you. Like I mentioned, 8'2" long nose. And before we get in the stall area, there's one other thing we do here on these type of trailers here at Transwest. Our Cimarrons, typically our gooseneck drop wall is 50 inches. So what we're noticing is on these newer trucks, with the bed heights continuing to get taller and taller, a lot of manufacturers, a lot of older trailers having an issue with having bed clearance, but also keeping the trailer running level. And that's ultimately what we want. You have 2 axles, we need to balance the load best we can from just the ride itself. We don't want to put too much weight on one axle rather than the other. So we want this trailer to be running level, but one of the tricky things that we're dealing with in the industry with these taller trucks is bed clearance. So I can make this trailer run level, but I'll have a minimal bed clearance. So if you get into some, rough, uneven roads, you know, you have the potential of getting into your bed and tearing that up. Or we get bed clearance and the trailer's nosed up. So now we're shifting all that weight to that back axle, and that's not what we want. Again, we want the weight evenly distributed over those two axles. So what we've done here is we've gone in and made this 53 inches. So we took 3 inches out of the neck, and the reason why is because now I can level this trailer out, I can adjust my coupler, the stem itself, I can extend it or retract it, making sure it's running level, but also I'm getting the bed clearance that we want. Typically on this type of a trailer, I'm going to shoot for a minimum of about 6 to 6.5 inches. Ideally, we want to be in that like 8 to 8.5. So typically I can put my pinky on a bed of a truck, and I just want to be able to touch the bottom of this, or not touch it at all. And that's usually, we're in that 8, 8.5 ballpark, but that gives us plenty of clearance. We're not tearing up the bed of that truck. Just pay attention to older trailers on newer trucks, and you will notice that they're basically sitting on the bed rail itself, or they're nosed up. Let's get back into this trailer, because this is just a cool little runaround trailer here. Side ramp, so again, you can kind of cross over from the standpoint of a good jackpot trailer or show trailer, but then again, also using it on the farm or ranch. So this is great to offload our livestock, equipment, anything like that. We don't have to, you know, pick it up and over, anything like that. When you get into the stall area, again, 20-foot stall area, this is what's so cool about this trailer. Most 20-foot stock trailers, we've got a cut gate, usually right in the middle. So we have two 10-foot sections. With this, we went in and put Cimarron's traveling gate. We ran the rail that the gate comes off of 16 feet back. So if you get in a scenario where you want a second gate, you know, we already have the upright posts. They're every foot apart as far as actually securing the gate too, so we can manipulate stall sizes, but you can add a second gate. So right now I've got it stored up against the gooseneck drop wall. So right now we have 20 foot of stall space. So then if we want to change that, the system's really easy to use. It just locks in around the posts, or on the bigger posts where there's notches, it'll actually lock into place there. And if you're in the middle, I'm not even touching it right now, it's just balanced, so it's wanting to, you know, slide really easy. I can lock it in on this post here, or for example, once we get to a post where there's notches, we can lock it in there. Now, you might ask, well, why are there certain posts that are kind of more of a square and then these bigger that are a little bit more of a rectangle? Well, what we want is where we have door openings or we have wheel wells, we want a little bit bigger post. So that's why you notice those at those locations there. And then we can just go ahead and lock them in on all these other posts as well. But it's really nice and easy to use. Again, I can set my stalls about any size I want. This one here, we opted to put the slider with no threshold, so they won't have anything to step over. We pick it up off the floor a little bit more, just because, you know, when you do bed in here, you know, shavings or anything like that can get deep. You can actually kind of tip the gate one way or other and then slide it. But this is a fantastic system. Again, it gives you so much flexibility. You know, think about if on the farm or ranch aspect where, hey, you know what, I'm gonna take a load of pairs somewhere, but I want the calves separated from the cows. I can, instead of just wasting a big stall for just calves and not have the ability to put all the cows on, now I can suck this gate down, have just a stall just for the calves, same for the cows. Hauling a cow-calf pair to shows, you can put them in a separate spot. A bull, put him in somewhere separate from the heifers you're hauling. So again, it gives you a lot of flexibility from that standpoint. But man, we really love those gates. Up here in the nose, we've got a fold down gate as well. That gives you a good look at that V-nose from the inside. Because of the depth of it, you know, it does make a big difference, and you can get quite a bit of items, and this is great storage area. It's not Not like the other manufacturers that again have a shorter nose. They're usually about 7'6" long, and then they come to an abrupt V, so everything tapers in a little bit more, so we're losing a little bit more space. But it's nice to have this gate here because you can again put some more storage up here. We put this piece of aluminum on the bottom so items can't slide back. Some customers want this whole thing to be enclosed. We can do that. There's a lot of options we can do here. We've got two-way roof vents. We've got 3 of them. They're kind of right down the middle of the trailer, but this way we can manipulate some airflow in here for the animals as well. This trailer, again, like I mentioned, is 6'4" tall, square in the middle. If you put a tape measure to it and you don't go to a roof bow, you actually go to the roof material, you'll measure about 6'6". So you right square in the middle of the trailer, you get a little bit more height because of the arch to it. But again, with this insulated roof, it makes a massive difference in temperature in this stall area, especially in these hot, summer days, the months where, you're traveling to junior shows or, county fairs are kicking up and state fairs where it's really hot. This makes a big difference. Typically, we say about 20% difference compared to an aluminum sheeted roof. And then this is stout stuff as well. I can walk on this roof. I cannot dent it. It'll take substantial hail. We know it'll take big hail and won't dent it. Obviously, there are situations where we can get into massive hail where we do have the potential of just basically spider webbing the roof itself, but we can go in and seal it. So we can fix it after the fact. So we've got 3 roof vents on this one. The reason why is, a lot of cattle, small animals, airflow down low is really important. So we wanted this 3rd lower air gap. And then we've got the 2 uppers, but then you'll notice we've got an interior tie rail as well here. So you can tie some animals up. And then there's the escape door here as well. Some customers will actually set their center gate behind the ramp and then use this maybe as storage for some of their tack. So by doing that, you can hop in through that escape door. On our 24 and larger trailers, we do what's called a dirty tack setup, where we'll actually shift this side ramp back a little bit more and then move that escape door ahead of it. So then you can create a dirty tack room, but everything's on one side of the trailer. On the exterior here, you'll notice an upper and lower tie rail. So this is just on passenger side. We put this option on there. So if you're showing off of this trailer, wanting to tie out off of it, you've got the ability to do that. If we wanted to add this to the other side of the trailer, we can get the material and do that. So that is an option as well for you. Put a load light kind of over by the ramp. That way you got some light coverage. Here you have 2 6,000-pound rubber torsion Dexter axles. This trailer weighs about 4,800 pounds empty. So GVW Arnett's 12,000 pounds, but you're also going to have a lot of that shift over to the truck when we get hooked up to it. So you're probably going to gain somewhere in the ballpark of 1,200 to 1,400 pounds are going to free up once we hook up to the truck. So these are plenty adequate axles for this trailer and the load capacity on here once we shift everything over to the truck. Aluminum wheels are standard, so it just gives it a really clean look to the trailer. And then again, like I mentioned, you have that 1-year no questions asked warranty on these tires themselves. And also these are nitrogen filled. That's what the green tab means. So when it's that green tab, we're not going to have PSI levels fluctuate drastically. The best example we can give you is that's what they use on airliners. Think about the temperature differences they're dealing with and the altitude differences, so pressure differences. So we deal with that quite a bit in these summer months of, cooler nights, hot days, hot asphalt, higher speeds, because these trucks can run faster. Just maintaining those PSI levels is really important to do. So with this trailer being 8 foot wide, here at the back, we did a swing gate with a slider on the rear. And I know you see this a lot. I mean, what we're doing here is not uncommon, but what we've done is because it's 8 foot wide, we've actually opened this gap up a little bit more. Standard's 32 inches. We've gone in and made this 36 inches. So we've gained 4 inches of opening there. And why that's important is if you get in a scenario where you have to meet somebody in a parking lot and butt trailers up against each other and move animals from one trailer to the other, having that bigger opening makes a big difference. You've got an LED light here at the back as well over that opening. We've got switches right back here, so we can run that light on the other side of the trailer, the stall lights or this one here individually. I'm going to step to the side of the trailer here, but I want you to notice, like I talked about, how we have that bigger opening on the slider gate. I want you to notice this new rubber bumper that Cimarron's put on here. It's actually a bigger rubber bumper than what they've done in the past and what we see on the horse trailers. And we do this on the stock trailers because we know that you have the potential of backing up to an alleyway, butting up against something, or butting up against another trailer. And the old ones were a little bit narrower, so you had the potential of getting into your hardware if you weren't careful. So we wanted to put a little bit bigger rubber bumper on the back. That's what Cimarron's doing now, standard on these livestock trailers as well. Over here on driver's side, again, we can go in and add that those upper and lower tie rails for you if you want that done. You know, we can figure out the cost. They send us the piece, and one long piece for the trailer, and then the actual mounting brackets loose. That way we know we can get it matched up exactly where these upright posts are. If you wanted to add plexiglass, this is standard on all Cimarron stock trailers, is you actually have the track already built in there. So on every one of these air gaps, even on the back, this is built in, and then they notch right here. So if you want to, you can go buy somewhere that, you know, can cut some plexiglass for you. They can measure it. You can pick out, you want cleared, you want tinted, anything like that. I know there's different colors that you can get now, so there's a lot of options there. But these notches are already here for you, so if you want to add plexiglass, you can do that. Typically from about dead center here forward is 4 foot. So we always say, hey, cut them in 4-foot sections, as many as you can, and then whatever, if maybe there's a 2-foot or an 18-foot section or you know, anything like that, the last piece there, go ahead and have it cut that way, but always try to keep them in 4-foot sections. And then too, if you wanted to ever add a plexiglass storage tray up in the nose, we can get that from Cimarron too, and those are built to hold those 4-footers. So that's why we typically do them in 4-foot sections. There's your escape door. This trailer here we did in the standard white sheeting, and then we go in and we added the stainless sheet to the nose itself. Gives it a cleaner look, I think. It's also easier to keep bugs off of as well. So let me give you the stock number on this one. Again, it's a 2022 Cimarron Lonestar 20-foot by 8-foot with a side ramp and traveling gate. Stock number is 5N210220. So again, we've got some others, some bigger trailers on order with that dirty tack setup, 24, 28. It's typically standard for us, what we carry, but we can build something like this. If you want to change anything on this trailer, we can custom build you something. That's not a problem at all. Give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.